Good evening and welcome to VSRN Bluegrass TV for the Bluegrass Xfinity Series here on Tuesday nights. I'm Eddie Smith, glad to have y'all for another day of Daytona racing here in Bluegrass. Last night we saw an incredible race where a last lap crash got Jeremiah Hobbs his second win in the Bluegrass Truck Series and punched his ticket into the playoffs. Who's going to do it tonight, as this is the cutoff race for the Xfinity Series? Going to be a drama-filled race for sure. It's already starting early, and I think it's going to continue all the way to the end of this thing. Take a look at your standings real quick. Alex Penn, with those 5 wins, finds himself 42 points atop the standings, over the top of David Farmer. And you can see down the list of a bunch of drivers who got to feel pretty safe. 16 drivers will go in to the playoffs. So you see right there, Adam Lancaster sitting there in 16th place, just 7 points out of 17th is Brian Terry sitting right behind him, and then just a couple more points back, Matt Grenier, and then Tyler Johnson, all right there around the cutoff line. So it's going to be an exciting race for sure tonight. I just can't imagine how intense it's going to be, especially for these guys that are right on the bubble. Now, last night we saw somebody came from way out of the top 16 to win their way in. So that's also a possibility. So who knows what's going to happen here tonight. We'll take a look at your track information. If you don't know what Daytona is, I don't know what to tell you, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. Of course, a legendary speedway, opened in 1959. It was they raced on the beach for a long time, and they decided, you know what, there's a lot of money in this. We're going to put some cars on a big old 2.5 mile oval, set those bad boys loose and let the horses eat. And it was just an amazing feat, I think, to build a track like this. Talladega as well, just incredible feats of track building. I don't even know what you're supposed to say, but anyway, gonna be here at Daytona tonight. Draft gonna be a huge deal. Those guys are gonna be dealing with running nose to tail for a long time. Got to keep tabs of your water temp, make sure you don't push too long. You got to be careful. You can't push all the way around the track. Got to be careful where those pushes. The bad pushes is usually where the cautions are going to come in. But just about 50 seconds left in this qualifying session, and we're going to talk to one of the drivers on the bubble, and that is Adam Lancaster. Adam, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, you're sitting there 16th in the point standings. You're right on the bubble. Going to be a tough race to be right on it. You've got a couple drivers at just a few points back, but then you've got some ground you can make up. What is your strategy tonight dealing with the point situation, knowing that your playoff berth is on the line? How are you going to attack this race?
Well, I have to kind of pull a Denny Hamlin, just kind of take it for what it is, feel things out at the beginning and see, how guys are racing each other and what the pack looks like. And if we can get up in there and try to get some stage points, that'd be helpful, but hopefully not necessary. Obviously we get a good finish and just try to stay out of trouble. Obviously finishing the race and having a clean race car when it comes down to the closing laps would be most beneficial to get a good finish. But we'll just play it by ear and kind of see what things look like and who's up there and who you're racing around and kind of take it from there. If you see something we don't like, then just kind of fall back and protect the car.
Well, hey, that sounds like a great plan. I'm going to let you go so you can get gridded up. Good luck tonight, and thank you so much for talking to me.
Hey, sure thing.
There you have it, your 16th place in points. Adam Lancaster, he decides not to qualify. He's going to start in the back, and so we'll see if he's able to get it done or if some of those guys behind him can get it done. But we are getting ready to grid up, and we're going to jump right into the grid in just a second. All right. Starting on the front row is Jimmy Allen in the 99 Ford Mustang with just a blazing lap time over the field. I mean, it was the only one in the threes, and you see Lucas Lyon there in second place on the outside of the front row with a 50.425. So Jimmy Allen really smoked him on qualifying. Starting in row number 2 is going to be Bobby Anderson, and outside of him is Daniel Cunningham. Row number 3, Ben Speed, I love that name, and Sean Kostritza. Starting in 7th, Michael Kostick, Tyler Johnson in 8th. Starting in 9th is Casey Ryback with the 10th place driver of Jim Ott right outside of him. Scott Fritz going to start in 11th. Tony Iverson going to start in 12th. Starting 13th is Jason Harrison. David Farmer in the 14th position. Nicholas Hacia in the 15th position. Alex Penn in 16th. 17th is Brandon Holder. Adam Lancaster, who we just talked to, starting in 18th. These guys took no time. Justin Ray, Austin Allen, round out your top 20. 21st, Andy Kurtz. Dustin Ronstedel in 22nd. 23rd, Travis Twitty. And rounding out your field is going to be Brian Terry, who is outside looking in. Would love to get that win in that 13 machine and get himself into the playoffs. Just a few points out. As Travis Twitty's still sitting on the grid here, but ready to see how this is going to play out, man. The Truck Series really set the bar for racing here at Daytona and Bluegrass. We'll see if the Xfinity Series can improve upon that. Now, in Bluegrass, there's sort of a ladder system of, there's an I-rating cap of 2,500. I think it's 3,500 for Xfinity. I may have these numbers a little bit off, but it's sort of the skill level increases. But usually that comes with ego. So we'll see if tonight has that issue tonight or if everybody plays nice. So take a look at your VSRN race analysis. Fixed setup, 85 laps, stage break on lap 34. And the big thing tonight, no fast repair. Got to take care of that car. You do not get a second chance. Also, 50% fuel. That's not listed on there, but that will play a big part. It did last night. About 15, 16 laps on the tank of fuel. We'll see how they fare here tonight, but that's going to really change up the strategy. And I think teamwork is going to make the dream work tonight, as you're going to want to work with people. If it's not just teammates, you want to work with other folks and make sure you're pitting together. We saw last night the McCullough Motorsports Group just dominated in that department and really had the race in their hands. They had like 12-second lead until a late race caution. So we'll see who's going to come away with the victory tonight, but Jimmy Allen going to lead us down to the green flag. Barney's got the green in hand, and green flag is out here in the Xfinity Series at Daytona. First lap in the books, and Jimmy Allen able to hold on to that lead, but that JC Motorsports duo on the top of Daniel Cunningham and Lucas Lyons working that top side, going to try to make some moves, get their way up to the front. And we already see some people checking up, going 3 wide, and look at Ben Speed there. One of those drivers right on the bubble. He sees, makes him a little bit nervous. He's going to jump out of the pack, and he's going to fall to the back. We're going to see that a lot tonight with 0 fast repairs. You're going to want to take care of those cars. But you see, we got some drivers up front. I can't see who exactly that is up on the 3rd row, but making some moves early. Who is that? That's outside. I think that's David Farmer. No, David Farmer is right up here. Let's see, it's the 84. It is a David Farmer. David Farmer out there working that 3rd lane, goes around and now gets himself in the top 10. But up front, it is still side by side, Lucas Lyon and Jimmy Allen. So 85 laps is going to be tough tonight. It's going to be a long race, so buckle up. As you see the JC Motorsports with a big run down the back straightaway, pushes the 25 out into the lead. Lucas going to stay up in that top line. Stay with his teammate. That's going to be a big thing tonight. Teamwork is going to be a big deal. And like I said before, 50% fuel, they're going to have not that many laps. They're not going to have that many green flag laps before they got to come down and take fuel on a green flag pit stop. And that really changes the way this is going to race. You're going to race to the stage at 34, but you're likely going to have maybe one, maybe two pit stops, as we see Bobby Anderson pulling out of the pack, deciding he doesn't want anything to do with it. It's going to be tough for him to get back on the track before turn 3. Just barely does in that 11 machine. He's able to get it back on the track. Just not feeling good about what's going on up front. If you're listening in chat, let me know if the car audio is okay, especially when they come by, like right about here. Been trying to work on my audio. I know I need to be calling the race, not be talking to the fourth wall, breaking the fourth wall, but let me know if it all sounds good, and I can make adjustments if it's not. But Jimmy Allen going to get a little bit of that lead with a big push from Tyler Johnson as the top line sort of breaks up a little bit. Obviously, they're going to have to be patient, be smart. Daniel Cunningham can't push the whole time. You see he's on the back bumper of that 25, but he can't push for too long. You have to give a little bit of space. You have to kind of let that car breathe just a little bit, as you will start to overheat. So give them a little push, back off of them, roll out the throttle a little bit. That's how they need to do it. But so far, pretty quiet up front. Hasn't really changed. Everybody minding their P's and Q's. We'll see as Michael Kostick now going to pull out, go to the back. We've seen this a lot here early on, so I'm not really sure what they're seeing. Maybe just, hey, there's nowhere to go, and so it's kind of wasting time. Or looks like we might be preparing for pit stops at some point. But the pack's starting to break up. You look, you can see that there's the drivers up front. And then it's just, there's a lot of space back there as they're just taking it easy. Go back here with Andy Kurtz and look on board with him. You can see what he's doing. Just hanging out the back, started 21st, running 18th. Not eligible for the playoffs, just didn't make enough races, but he wants to be there and win this race, that's for sure, as another driver pulling out of the pack, going towards the back. But Andy Kurtz just trying to maintain that draft and not put his car in danger here too early. You want to see lap 85. That's the goal at these plate races. I want to see the end of this thing. Going out before lap 10 would just be pretty tough to deal with, especially if you're a playoff driver. Tyler Johnson now drops down in front of those two drivers, and now he will get a big push from Lucas Lyon and get that Valvoline number 6, that Mark Martin throwback. Man, I love to see that. I mean, you can put Valvoline on just about anything. And Lucas, man, really nervous. Very close call for Lucas as he pulls up in front of Jimmy Allen. He was definitely so close to not being clear, and that could have been disaster. Maybe Jimmy probably gave him a little bit of love there and let him in, but that's a close call, especially early in the race. And it's one of those things where hit these races, you know, when you're making those decisions, and I'm not picking on Lucas, he just happened to be the one to do it. You got to make that call. You got to say, I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it. And that lazy kind of move up the track, that gives that run behind you a chance to, you know, kind of try to fill that gap, and some accidents can happen. So it's got to be something purposeful. Hey, I'm going up here or I'm staying down here. If you kind of lag back or you just kind of, you can't make that decision, that's where calamity can happen. But you can kind of feel the quiet before the storm. Everybody just minding their P's and Q's. A little bit of pushing up front, but you see a lot of gaps. Even in this first little pack, you'll see about a half a car length back from like the 17 of Adam Lancaster. Go back bumper you see. I believe that's Austin. Let's see, that might be Casey Rodback behind him. And you see about a half a car length. You almost fit a full car in between those drivers. So just being patient, not being too aggressive here early. You can see just a lot of guys back there who are just maintaining this position. Now, some folks who did not make the race, looks like Tony Iverson, Sean Kostritza, and Travis Twitty. I don't know. I'm a little worried. I will give you a little bit of heads up. Early, I think the first session that went up might have been messed up, and they had to redo the session. So I'm not sure if Sean Kostritza, Tony Iverson, and Travis, they were in the session, and it looks like all three of them got dropped due to packet loss. So 3 drivers going out early. I mean, it's the equivalent of an engine being blown or a tire going down. Is they're out of this thing, and Tony Iverson is just now connected. So 3 drivers dropped out due to connection issues. Tony Iverson, Sean Kostritz, and Travis Twitty. So that is tough for those drivers. But right now, just sort of a back and forth. Neither line is really put together enough to really do much of anything. They're going to kind of pendulum back and forth. And right now, what's happening is there's a lot of communication between drivers. The drivers that have teammates, they're obviously talking to each other, saying, hey, when we're coming down pit road, when are we doing this? Do I need to move to the back? Where are you? How far back are you? That's the thing I love about super speedway racing. Now, I don't love the roll the dice part of it. One guy makes a mistake, one guy doesn't do what he needs to do, or whatever, makes a mistake, and your race can be over quickly and fast. But I love working with my teammates, getting with the guys that have been. Did you see Daniel Cunningham's car there, the Helmo car with that looks like Daniel Cunningham's face on top of Elmo there. So interesting paint scheme out of him. Glad we were able to get the paint scheme straight. The paint was acting up a little bit earlier. Looks like everybody's coming in just nicely. But yeah, it's fun to work with teammates. Maybe even not your teammates. Maybe you're a solo driver and you hook up with another group and y'all work together and try to accomplish something like getting a win, or like the McCullough Motorsports guys last night. They were just incredible working together. And every time they come down pit road, they would come out with a 4 or 5 second lead, and they kept extending that. And at the end of the race, with just 3 laps to go, they had a 7 or a 12 second lead over the second pack, the main pack. So maybe something that folks have learned from last night that they can apply, but you got to work with your teammates. And if you don't have a teammate, you better find a group to tag along with. Still side by side. Not really much to talk about right now. Expecting pit stops to be pretty soon. Adam Lancaster, who we talked about early this in the before the race in the interview, he's there running in the 4th position, going back and forth, 4th and 5th. He's up 14 spots, so he did exactly what he said he was going to do: get up here and try to get those stage points. And right now he's 3rd in line on the bottom. So if he's trying to get some stage points, he's making it happen. As he is currently the biggest mover of the race, not scared at all. And now being up front, a lot of people get nervous, but being up front sometimes can be the safest place to be. So he's going to get up here and try to get some stage points, be there at the stage break at lap 34, get those stage points and kind of give him a buffer around that cutoff line. We don't have any live points, but it's better not to pay attention to points, honestly. It's better just to pin your ears back and go after it. That's what Adam Lancaster's doing. But up front, it is just going back and forth. Lucas getting a big push from Jimmy Allen. The 6 getting a big push from Daniel Cunningham. And they're just kind of going back and forth. All right, well, last night in the trucks with the 50% fuel, right around this lap is when they came down pit road. So expecting to see it in the next 5 laps for sure, them coming down pit road to get fuel. Now, some interesting strategy that we did see last night that might be applicable here is Jimmy Allen's going to push Lucas Lyon out to the front, and he is going to dive down and take over that bottom line, the front car at the bottom, and he'll take over the lead. But what we saw is guys who came in early didn't have to take as much fuel. If you run that thing dry, that gas man's got to stand there a little bit longer, and that's time on the track. Tires not going to be important. We don't need to take tires unless it's under a caution. Fuel only should be the call every time under green flag pit stops. So if you can come in early, that's going to be the best call, as you just don't have to put that much fuel in it, and every second's going to count. Now you start to see everybody mosey on down to the bottom. Jim Ott out there with, I can't see who that is pushing him, but just those two drivers up on the top side now. Everybody's strung out on the bottom. That means pit stops are coming. That's the 84 of David Farmer, really pushing the 4-car, making a lot of ground up with just 2 cars. Just shows the strength. If you can get to that back bumper and push for a long period of time, you can make up a ton of ground. But I expect to see pit stops happening in the next lap or so, with everybody sort of going down to the bottom. And we're seeing it now. Ben Speed. Nicholas Hacia coming down pit road. Ben Speed gets a little nervous on entry, but able to get down to pit lane speed. So early now to only 2 drivers. You know, I'm a little interesting to. It's interesting to see that call, just 2 drivers coming down pit road. But go back up front. Jim Ott with a push from David Farmer was able to get that top spot, so he currently has the lead in that 4-car. Already seen a couple drivers come down pit road. Who else? Here they go. Jimmy Allen coming down pit road along with Tyler Johnson, Austin Allen. Oh, my goodness. Tyler Johnson really fast on pit road. Did he get down to pit road speed? We'll find out here. If he has to stay over about 7 seconds, he'll have that 40-second hold. That could be disastrous as the first group comes down pit road. You don't want to slide through your pit stop either. You want to come right in and get that thing going. So fuel only should be the call, as we're waiting to see if Tyler Johnson and, oh man, Casey Ryback, Tyler Johnson, both sitting here on pit road. 40-second hold for those drivers. That is disastrous. As you saw, they were really, really fast coming on pit road. So here comes the rest of the field. Pretty much everybody else coming down pit road. We'll see if everybody can get, oh my goodness, it's Scott Fritz. Gets hard on the brakes. Did he get down to pit road speed? He's slowing down quite a bit. Did he get down there as David Farmer is able to get around him going into the pit stall? And David Farmer's going to blow through his stall. That's a mistake you just can't make under green. He has to back up. She was the first car, so he should be able to get to the back of this little pack. You see drivers passing him as he's stuck on, had to slide through his pit box. But who else? Did we get anybody else, or did everybody come out without much issue? Looks like everybody able to get out of that without a pit road speeding penalty. So Scott Fritz going to be your leader as he leads this pack right now. We'll see, as there's drivers that might be coming around here pretty soon. Jim Ott, they're up to speed. We'll see. I think they're going to catch this pack as you see some smoke. Somebody going through the grass there. It looks like Justin Ray. Justin Ray in that 38 machine going through the grass must have had some sort of issue. Just so many things that can happen, and he is going to be in trouble. But Scott Fritz, Lucas Lyon, Alex Penn, Daniel Cunningham, Adam Lancaster, and David Farmer are the group that come out first. We'll see how far Jim Ott's about 1.3 seconds back. They should be able to run that group down. He's got Jimmy Allen really pushing, so they have caught the draft. So now this pack is going to be about 8 deep. So good job by everybody getting on and off pit road. The only person that really had trouble was Justin Ray, and we'll look here on the picture-in-picture. That's him in the middle of your screen, and we'll see exactly what happened to him. He's just on the apron, going to grab a little bit of that yellow line, and, man, just sends that car around, offloads that right rear, and just upsets the car, and he goes through the grass. I wonder if he's going to get a penalty for going over that yellow line. He's not supposed to blend until the last until that blue cone at the exit of turn 2. So we'll see if that was a penalty for him. But Scott Fritz, currently your leader, and Adam Lancaster with Jim Ott, who had a big head of steam, going to jump up there and try to create this upper lane. You know, if you're this is the part that can be frustrating because everybody's got their own agenda. You know, Adam Lancaster is going to be fighting for stage points, so he wants to get up there and battle for the stage win, or as many points as he can get. And I'm sure the guys around him are like, hey, why are you not in line? Why are you not in line so we can run away from these guys and they can't catch us? The more you drop out, the higher your win percentage is going to be at the end of the race. So these guys are like, well, just get in line and run. But Adam has to get those stage points. He has to be up there and be battling for that stage win just to give him some breathing room. So he has his own race to run, and this is the call that he's going to make. And Lucas Lyon going to jump up there, see that run coming, and going to block on that top line. And now that leaves Scott Fritz sort of by himself. He's going to have to fall back to that 30 machine of Alex Penn. Alex Penn going to pick him up as there's a lot going on up here, but we do have a couple cameras here tonight. Alex Penn, one of them, he's been in every week. Definitely appreciate him as he's got the VR, and you can see working that wheel. Why is it going back and forth like that? Well, he is putting those just small incremental inputs in the corner just to make sure that he holds his line and he can push if he needs to. You can see just working that wheel just ever so slightly to keep himself down on the bottom. Doesn't want to push up the track in the corner, push up into Jim Ott. Trying to keep it right on the bottom. He's doing a great job. The other camera that we have is Scott Fritz, who was up front for a little while, kind of got bailed on, and now is back in the third position. So he has gotten a little bit about that back, but he definitely looks calm and collected too. So Scott Fritz, appreciate him having the driver cam as well. We normally have Travis Twitty, maybe Tony Iverson, but they had some connection issues. So. Coming up on some lap traffic here, we look on board with Lucas Lyon to see a couple drivers. It's like 3 drivers. Casey Ryback, Tyler Johnson, who was up front, but they had that pit road speeding penalty. I think Tony Iverson's on the back of that group as well. So Brandon Holder, Tyler Johnson, and Casey Ryback, these lap cars that are about to get lapped. Tyler Johnson really trying to push there and keep that from happening, but unfortunately these guys coming with a head of steam. I expect these guys to race hard. Once they get lapped though, and it's an inevitability, then they're racing each other. So right now Tyler Johnson's pushing the 33, but once the pack comes around and laps them, then the 6th and the 33 will be direct competitors for that lucky dog if a caution does come out. So right now you can see he's being really aggressive. He's probably going to go up and block the leaders. You go, block the leaders? Why? Well, he's trying to stay on the lead lap. That's why. So I can't imagine he wouldn't, and he is exactly what he does. As Lucas Lyon's going to go down to the inside, going to make it 3 wide. Tyler Johnson wanting to hold that position. Lucas Lyon having none of it, as he's going to go down to the inside, and this is where we can potentially have problems. As you see the weaving back and forth, some nervous driving as Tyler Johnson is going to fall back to the back of this pack. So it worked out perfectly for the 33 of Brandon Holder, who continues to have that lucky dog position. Lucas Lyon has the lead, and here comes Adam Lancaster. Opens himself up. Let's see if he gets pushed by Scott Fritz here. He goes down right to his back bumper. Going to push that 17 as we have got about 7 laps to go to the end of this stage. And Adam Lancaster, he knows what he's got to do, and he is doing exactly that up front. And he has got himself in a position to be able to win this stage, get max points, and give himself some breathing room. Now, if he goes out and wins the race, that is a surefire way to make sure you get to the playoffs. So, winning the stage is numero uno, but after that, got to go for that race win. But this gas situation, I think, just makes these races a little bit calmer. I mean, 3 wide with lap cars is the most excitement that we've seen so far. And, oh, my goodness! A little bit of contact, and as soon as I say it, Daniel Cunningham makes contact. And drivers going everywhere. Jim Ott. Daniel Cunningham, and caution is out. As I don't know what happened there. Not even sure how they even make contact at all, because there was really nothing going on. So we'll have to go back and look at that on the replay and see what happened. It looked like it started with the 08 of Daniel Cunningham. He was getting pushed by Tyler Johnson, who was obviously wanting to be aggressive. Let's go look and see. We'll be on board with Daniel Cunningham with the 6 pushing him down the back straightaway. He's pushing on that left rear quarter panel, and that's the problem right there. You just can't do that. Oh, Jim Ott with nowhere to go there. Just an innocent bystander. Go on board with Jim Ott. See the push there on the left rear quarter, and Jim just can't see what was going on there. And just couldn't see it happening in time to slow it down just a little bit. You can see that the hit is already happening. Cunningham is going down to that inside line. Jim can't see that Daniel's about to come back up, and the 08, boom, they get up close and personal as Cunningham gets right hooked back into the wall. So early problems, as that was just a wild wreck here early in the race. Now, I don't know if anybody's going to come down pit road. Doesn't look like anybody came down this time. So everybody, knowing that the stage is coming. Oh, they do have some people coming down pit road. Obviously some drivers with some damage. Brian Terry, who was 17th in the points, did not need to have any issues. You see he's missing a hood. It looks like they put that hood back on there. Wow, that was fast. We'll see what happened to maybe him, as Brandon Holder in that 33 was the lucky dog after that wreck. But some issues here. Brian Terry, like I said, sitting in 17th coming into the race. He did not need to have any damage like that. He is he's sitting on pit road right now getting that damage fixed. Been on pit road for about 40 seconds. Daniel Cunningham also getting some repairs with Ben Speed, Tyler Johnson, where that all started in that 6 machine. And now, you know, Tyler, that push, unfortunately, I'm sure Cunningham's kind of wondering, what the heck was that? We were way back in the pack. Why are you pushing on my bumper so hard? You know, pushing there on that left rear corner can be a really bad thing to do, as it can cause problems. But in Tyler's defense, Tyler is trying to get up there and battle that 33 car. As he kind of got shuffled to the back. So he was trying to get back up there to get that lucky dog if a caution does come out. And so that's why he was being so aggressive. Even though he's a lap car, he's got a lot on the line. He wants to get back into this race. So just an unfortunate side effect of, speeding on pit road. The mistakes, they add up, especially with how many green flag pit stops or pit stops in general we're going to have to make here tonight. It's important that you don't make any mistakes. Now, if you're Tyler Johnson, I don't know how bad that damage is. That'll be the big factor. But he's still in it. Right now, Casey Ryback is in the lucky dog position. So everybody coming down pit road. A lot of drivers coming down pit road. Looks like some drivers. Well, that's a great camera angle. Got Ben Speed here coming down pit road. Nicholas Hacia, Brandon Holder. It looks like just some damage race cars looking to maybe get some repairs done. Andy Kurtz coming down as well. You see him leaving with Dustin Reinstedel behind him. So Lucas Lyons up there in the lead at the moment. As we're doubled up to go green here, we're going to have sort of like a green, white checkered for the stage win. So this should be exciting. Long way to go in this thing, but those stage points going to mean a lot throughout the playoffs, so you want to have them in the bank if you can do it. Adam Lancaster going to be down on the bottom as Lucas Lyon going to be up top with David Farmer behind him. Scott Fritz going to be behind Adam. Pace car going to pull off. Who's going to win this stage and set themselves up real nice for the playoffs? Green flag is out. Lucas Lyon gets a great jump. Scott Fritz there right on Adam's back bumper, trying to get to him to give him a push, but somehow Adam gets up through the gears a whole lot better than Lucas did. And here comes Scott, get to the back bumper. But I think Lucas might have been backing up to David Farmer as they come around. Out of turn number 2, going to get wound up. That bottom line just doesn't have the numbers at the moment. But Jimmy Allen, Michael Kostick are coming really quickly. But Lucas Lyons gets a big push. He's going to drop down to the bottom. And that gives David Farmer the run that he might need. He's going to jump. Lucas going to jump down to the bottom in front of Adam. So Adam now going to take turns pushing Lucas. Still double file here as they cross the line for lap 33. So 2 more laps in this stage. Lucas Lyon with a big push out front is the top line. The top line's going to be gearing up for a little bit of a run here to the end of this thing. David Farmer gets backed up to the 27 of Austin Allen. He's telling him to push, but here, somebody going to the outside, not willing to push the 30. Kind of breaks up the whole top line. That's really going to hurt them. Can they get it wound back up for the next lap? Is there 3 wide off of turn 4 coming to the white flag, or the green and white, I guess is what it's called. Well, 1 more lap to see who's going to win this stage. That top line trying to get rolling. Jimmy Allen looking for somebody. Hey, y'all, anybody want to go? Michael Kostick kind of feels it. He can feel the problems coming. He's going to jump down to the end, and he ain't going to have nothing to do with it. He's in the playoffs. He ain't worried about it. David Farmer going to jump down to the bottom. Here they go. Here's the run. Who has the run to get this stage win? Got some guys up at the top. Adam Lancaster going to go up to the top side. Lucas going to be left out to dry. As Scott Fritz is going to go with the 17. Now David Farmer going to get to the back. What is Adam Lancaster going to do? Is Lucas going to have a run here? Oh, he's not able to get down. We'll see if they're having a run for the line to the stage win. And at the line, they're 3 wide, and Adam Lancaster is going to take the stage win. Wow. Woo! My goodness, I was talking and holding my breath at the same time. I didn't know that was possible. As Adam did a great job there. I thought he was going to maybe jump down to the bottom and block Lucas, but decides to stay up there, and that was the right call, and he comes away with the stage win. Wow, great run to the finish there. Lucas Lyon is in second. Scott Fritz gets the 3rd place in the stage. Alex Penn 4th, and Austin Allen in 5th. So mission accomplished for Adam Lancaster as he's waiting on the pace car, who is lagging behind there. But mission accomplished for him, and we'll talk to him once he gets done coming down pit road. Everybody will be coming down pit road to get fuel. Got some drivers who stayed out, but I just don't think you could stay out. I think a lot of those guys who pitted before the stage break just trying to go to the back, maybe get some damage repair. But I think if you stay out here, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure, as you'll have to pit a lot earlier than the field. So I would imagine everybody going to come down pit road here. Full stop. Adam going to lead them down pit road here. He's got an early pit box. Be able to get down in his stall relatively quickly. And Lucas, we see everybody come down. Should see a lot of fuel only, but you might see some tires here under caution like this, as you know, might as well get 4 tires while you can. Doesn't really matter if you go towards the back. Track position, not a huge deal, but we'll see some folks come out. And David Farmer going to win the battle off pit road, looks like. David Farmer takes fuel only. And then so does Lucas Lyons. Adam Lancaster, Lucas might have taken 2 tires. It's possible with that pit stop time. But Adam Lancaster all the way back takes 4 tires. Well, all right. Well, hopefully we can get an interview here with Adam. We talked to him before the race, and dadgummit if we're not going to talk to him now. Let's bring Adam up into the booth. Sorry, Adam, I didn't mean to pull you up in here during middle conversation, but Eddie in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, we got you, man.
Man, well, you did exactly what you needed to do. Your plan's working out perfectly so far, and you're able to get that stage win. Congratulations, first off. Now, your first mission has been accomplished. Now, what is the second mission for Adam Lancaster?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, the game plan is still the same, right? You got to survive and be, you know, strategically aggressive, you know, when it calls for it. It's still a long way to go to get to the end. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. Obviously, being up front is a good place to be, at least for now, to try to stay clean and make it to the end. And, you know, we got the points for the stage there. And so right now, maybe we can find a nice spot to nestle in and keep the fenders on it and get ready for the last few laps of this thing.
Yeah, 100%. Well, tell me about the car. How's it driving? What have you learned so far in the draft? What's working, what's not working for that 17 machine?
You know, the model now is a lot freer, you know, especially when you're tucked up behind somebody on corner entry. You know, it can step out on you. You got to really modulate the throttle and kind of play with the throttle there to stay tight, but not let the car get out from under you. So definitely, you know, the farther we go into a run, the more the fuel burns off. Things get a little hairier when you get in the pack, and those guys put it right down on your door and things like that. So finding guys that are comfortable with that and can still push and be aggressive when it's time, and also take it easy so we can get to that part will be important to make it to the end here.
All right. Well, there you have it. Your stage 1 winner, Adam Lancaster. Appreciate his time, and we'll see if he can't get up there and get the win. Seemed like he has a pretty good idea what he needs to do and played it perfectly. But up front, though, Ben Speed wondered if anybody was going to stay out, and Ben Speed, Nicholas Asia stay out. They pitted 6 laps ago. They took 4 tires and fuel. We saw them pit together, just 2 cars, so they, you know, making some interesting calls, do what the other guys aren't doing. Sometimes that's the best way to do it. I still think that's going to cause them to have to come down early no matter what by themselves with no help, and I just don't know if that's going to work out. But I mean, at this moment, they did that earlier, and guess where they are? First and second. So what do I know? But the first part is over, and we've got a long, long way to go here in this race. Just a little bit less than 50 laps to go when we take the green flag. So what are these guys willing to do? How racy are they going to be? Are they just going to ride for a few laps? I think that might be a good call, especially if you're a playoff driver. But green flag is out here in the Bluegrass Xfinity Series. Ben Speed, with a great racing name, honestly, is going to have the lead. He's going to jump up to the top side. Obviously, teammates, the 28 and the 29, they're going to get hooked up with David Farmer. kind of by himself, but Lucas Lyon there in that 25 machine is coming quickly with some help from Adam Lancaster. As you see the pack really just spread out. Those guys are just taking it easy. And somebody going down to the bottom of the track. Can't really see who that is. I think it may be Alex Penn. It is in that 30 machine. He's going to drop back, re-enter right before turn 3. But David Farmer going to take the lead as you can see a big push from that bottom line. As those front two are falling back just a little bit without any help on that top side. You really have to be nose to tail to really do anything. And so they're dropping back. So interesting to see that not be aggressive, you know, especially when they stayed out to try to keep that track position. But they seem to be content falling back a little bit. So interesting. But if I'm in this field, you know, and if I'm up here running, I'm just, you know, I like these front three. I'm trying to get hooked up with drivers who just want to push, not be racy, not to get too wild, and just try to pull away. These guys in the back that are hanging out back here, you know, and you can see just the big gaps. We'll see if a blimp cam will show you anything. Just big old gaps back here. And if you can get together up front and pull away from this pack and drop a couple cars off the end of this pack, that might be beneficial. Now, one thing that we need to talk about that I didn't mention on that last caution is Tyler Johnson in that 6 Valvoline car who had gone a lap down after that penalty, got the lucky dog, able to go around and get back on the lead lap. He was able to get most of his damage fixed. It looked like that car looks pretty strong. We'll see how bad it is, but he's now hooked up on the back bumper of the 30 of Alex Penn, really pushing him. So the aggressiveness hasn't gone away from that 6 machine. Going to push the 30. Gets him a little bit loose as they go down to the bottom, but really moving up through the field as they go underneath Austin Allen and Jimmy Allen. So Tyler Johnson itching to get back up to the front, but great recovery from him after that first incident. Oh, somebody, Alex Penn, going down into the infield. No caution. No caution. Caution is now out. Alex Penn with engine damage, and that will be his night. Unbelievable. Alex Penn goes around, and we were just talking about it. You know who was on the back bumper? I wonder if it wasn't another push gone bad by Tyler Johnson. Go back and see exactly what happened. We'll check it out here on the replay. A little bit of checkup in front. Tyler Johnson's going to take evasive maneuvers. And honestly, it looks like, unfortunately, it looks like some net code. You see that car right there on the bottom line checking up. And I think Tyler just got it, though. Yeah, Tyler tried to avoid him, but just made a little bit of contact. And Alex Penn goes around. Major engine damage. We'll go watch on board with him. You see the checkup happening at 13, and Alex just checks up, and Tyler just couldn't see it, and just it's going to be a massive hit right here on the inside wall. I mean, I said it was a massive hit. That was barely a little kiss, and boy, that engine is gone in that 30 machine. Is the smoke going to come out of it? So unfortunate there for Alex Penn, just trying to be aggressive. Tyler Johnson was, and honestly, the first one was definitely on Tyler, but that one was just a racing deal. Unfortunately, you know, Tyler wasn't even pushing him at that moment, and unfortunately, and you see pit stops happening up front. Lucas Lyon going to stay out all by himself. Looks like there's one more driver going to stay out. But, yeah, I mean, that really wasn't Tyler's fault. The first one was a push gone bad. But that's not the case this time is I think Tyler was just a bystander of a checkup there on that bottom line and just not able to really do much about it. Just at the last second caught the right rear bumper of Alex Penn. But Lucas Lyons stayed out by himself. See, he's all by himself out there. He is 7 laps on this tank of fuel. So, interesting to know what he's thinking. He might come down. I think after seeing everybody come down pit road, he might make the call to come down this next time. We'll see. But, you know, you got to be linked up on pit strategy with your teammates as well. You know, a lot of these drivers don't really have much to lose, so it's not like they have to be hyper efficient in this race. Just somebody like Adam Lancaster has to kind of play his cards just about right. But somebody like Lucas, I believe he's in the playoffs, and I don't really think there's a shot. We'll take a look at the standings here and see. Lucas Lyons there in the 9th position. He's got plenty of points separating him from that 16th place. So it doesn't really matter what happens to Lucas. He's going to be in either way. But you got to think that I'd like to be on the same pit strategy as my teammates. Well, so far there have been a couple of, as even more people are coming back down pit road. So a little bit of the strategy, get that extra little bit of fuel. Lucas Lyon going to stay out on the track though. So everybody playing it pretty close to the chest. We're getting close to about 40 laps to go. I'm not really sure if they can make it 20 laps on fuel. Maybe somebody in chat who's been knocked out of the race can tell me, but it looked like they pitted between lap 15 and 20. But if they can save enough here, and those guys that just came down, they may have enough fuel to make it on one stop from here if we go green. Now, if a caution comes out, a couple cautions, it really won't matter that much. But they may be able to make it on just one more stop. So far, your exits out of the race. Looks like Jimmy Allen is out of it. Alex Penn is out of it. Jim Ott as well out of this one here tonight. Tony Iverson is 5 laps down, but he is still out on track. So he is able to come back from that disconnect, get back on track and race a little bit. Sean Kostritza, Travis Twitty never came back after their disconnect. So unfortunate for those drivers. All right, getting ready to go green here. You see all those drivers down on the inside because they came down pit road there, so they'll have to line up on the bottom. And you see only 3 cars on that outside line into the Geico restart zone, and Lucas Lyon's going to get a big jump here. Now, will that fuel make a big difference for Lucas? We're going to find out. Is, you know, in about 10 laps, if we don't have a caution, Lucas is going to have to come down pit road all by himself. So we'll see if that's the case. Currently, he's going to get a big push from the 17 as the 13 up top. Brian Terry, who we haven't talked about much all race long, but right on the outside looking in, he had that hood fall off earlier. They were able to get that thing pinned back on, and he's up here trying to race around in the top 5. He kind of gets left out to dry. As here comes the 33 of Brandon Holder, who was able to get back on the lead lap with David Farmer right on his back bumper. So they're going up to the front. Big push from the top side. Brandon Holder going to get that nice shove from David Farmer, and he's going to lead this lap. He goes from a lap down to leading a lap in just 20 laps or so. So impressive recovery from him as well as Tyler Johnson. At this moment, you know, you're still thinking about fuel. You're still thinking about pit strategy. You know, guys that have been hanging around in the back, that should not change. If you've been hanging around the back the whole race and now you start to get up there and get racy, that's the wrong strategy. You messed up. If your strategy is to hang around in the back and keep the car safe, that's still in play, as there's still a long way to go in this race. The guys up front who've been up front all race long, being aggressive. David Farmer now takes the lead, drops down with Brandon Holder in that 33, and they will take over the lead with that that bottom line. Once they drop down, that kind of takes the wind out of the sails of the top line. That 27 of Austin Allen up there with the 13 of Brian Terry and Tyler Johnson trying to make that top work. Go on board with Brian Terry here. He's trying to push that 27 up towards the front. They're going to get a big run here, as the inside has to do a little bit of checking up. There might be a little bit of fuel saving going on as well. Now they've gotten up to the third row. That top side has got a nice amount of momentum. They should continue that as the bottom line kind of checks up a little bit. More drivers jump up to the top. Looks like the 24 of Tony Iverson up there, multiple laps down, but he is going to be up there on that top line with the 29 of Ben Speed. 27, Austin Allen going to get down, do a little bit of side drafting here. As you see, they're just bumper cars up on the top line. Now Austin Allen almost dead even with Brandon Holder, as they're going to come apart here. But you see that bottom line is just completely gapped up. That should allow that top line to get a whole lot of momentum. But Tyler Johnson's going to bail on that top line right as they get a big push, jump down and try to get that track position and get third in line. But what a great recovery by the 6 and the 33 to be a lap down, have those pit road speeding penalties under that first green flag stop. Here comes David Farmer, though, with a run. He can see that some cars coming with a head of steam. He's going to jump out there and block that run from Tony Iverson, who's going to have to get to the back bumper. We're 3 wide up here, up for the lead. And you can see some drivers back there. Brian Terry said, I'm out of here. And he has fallen back quickly, as that made him extremely nervous. But a great battle going on up here, is now Tony going to get to the back bumper of David Farmer, try to give him a big shove, as Brandon Holder has been holding on to that lead. Tyler Johnson now pushing that all he can on that bottom side, but man, look at the push, and there goes David Farmer back down to the bottom, and he'll take over that top spot. And Tony Iverson will now be leading that second. Go back here and just look. Look at what we got, just guys riding back here, all in a single line, just trying to avoid what they feel like is an inevitable wreck. Go up here and check out the 44. You can see just all in a line here as I make all the viewers sick with a drone cam. just a random drone cam out of nowhere. As you see, the 38 car of Justin Ray, and there's a big gap here between Lucas Lyon and the other drivers up in front. So interesting to see that. Oh Lord. See Justin Ray, those drivers really pushing out there, and they kind of get nervous here. They're about 2.1 seconds or 1.3 seconds back from Casey Ryback, who is the back of this pack. So you got to be a little bit nervous, and Brian Terry all over the back bumper trying to push himself up there as David Farmer and the leaders coming up on some lap traffic here. Looks like Jimmy Allen. Guys are working really good together to try to get back up there to that lead pack, and they have gotten caught back up. Jimmy Allen, everybody trying to get around him safely. All right, well, right now, Lucas Lyon is on lap 18 of his fuel run. When will he have to come down pit road? We've seen him drop back. Now he's obviously dropping back to his teammates. Will they pit together? What's the plan here? So we're kind of getting an idea of what you can do on fuel, and I think if they have to come down pit road, I think they might be in trouble, because Lucas has been on track for now 19 laps, so it looks like it is possible to make it 20 laps. And if that's the case, then I think some guys can make it on one stop here, especially if they came down on that last lap under that last caution we had. So I think they can make it on one more stop, especially if you save enough, because Lucas is going to have 20 laps, and Casey Ryback another one of those in that 91 machine. He has just crossed over lap 20, so he'll have to pit pretty soon. But up front, it is still David Farmer, Tony Iverson in that second lane up top. He is 5 laps down, but he's still battling up here up at the front, just having fun, man. That's why we do it. That's why we have the subscription. But you can see the snaking up left to right, and there's a lot of lap cars up here. So obviously you got to feel a little bit nervous. But Tony Iverson getting a big push there. He had a nose out in front of that 84 machine there going into that turn. Casey Ryback now 21 laps here on fuel. Tony Iverson going to jump down to the bottom. Now, Jimmy Allen is up here battling up front. He's 3 laps down. He is in the lucky dog position. However, he is in a scary position where if the wreck was going to happen right now, it's going to happen up here somewhere. I'd be real nervous as the 99. He's on his own lap. Tony Iverson's now out there up front. He's only 4 laps down. But if he gets passed by the leader, he'll be 5 laps down. So Jimmy's on his own lap, but he may just be up here trying to help a teammate. Man, these plate races are a lot of fun, but they can be pretty stressful as you just don't know what's going to happen, especially towards the end of this race. It looks like somebody's pulling off. Casey Ryback going to come down pit road after 22 laps on fuel, and man, I think he sped right there. He came in really hot. So the 91 machine going to come down pit road all by himself. So it looks like 22 laps is really all you can do. So I think some folks can make it on just one more stop. And unfortunately for Lucas Lyon, he's not one of those drivers. How far can he make it? He's got to be really lifting here. You can hear that just slight breathe as they go down into the corner. He's just trying to use the draft to pull him along and use as little throttle as he can. He is definitely feeling the pressure here, hoping for a caution. but at some point he's going to have to duck off and come down pit road. That'll be tough for him. But Nicholas Hacia has taken over the lead. As I'm talking about Lucas, the 28 machine, as Tony Iverson has dropped down, 28 has gotten up there and taken the lead. So I know it's a little bit confusing, but that blue and yellow is he's 4 laps down, but he's leading that bottom line. And so everybody around him is on the lead lap outside of Jimmy Allen there, 4th in line on the top side. So Jimmy Allen getting up there to push his teammate, Austin Allen. I'm sure they're related in some way. So Casey Ryback coming down pit road, and he did have a speeding penalty. So for Casey Ryback, 48 seconds on pit road, 40-second hold for speeding all by yourself. You cannot let that happen. And now he is going to be at least 1 lap down, maybe 2. Now that's not good for Jimmy Allen. Is now this will be your waiver round or your lucky dog. So I think Casey is not in the worst position. Now Lucas will eventually have to come down pit road as well. He's still out on track for 24 laps. When's he going to come down pit road? And he's coming now. So Lucas Lyons coming down pit road. He is going to try to get on and off pit road as fast as he possibly can and blend back up in front of the pack if possible. So he wants to take just enough fuel to get back out there and make sure he doesn't go too far a lap down. Right now, the pack coming out of turn 2, they're doing 182, 185. It'll be 192 at the end of the back straightaway. Can Lucas get out in time? He's still in his box. Just dropped the jack, so Lucas is now going to pull out. Is he going to be able to make it? Get out in front of this. I mean, we see Tony Iverson up there. So Lucas can do the exact same thing. He's had plenty of speed and knows how to get around these plate tracks. Now, the biggest problem for Lucas, I think, is when he does come out of pit road, and here he is by himself on the back straightaway, they will catch him quickly. The tough thing for him is he's going to be by himself. When all these guys come down pit road, he'll be out there by himself yet again. So it's going to be a long 23 laps here for Lucas Lyons. But Nicholas Hacia currently has the lead as everybody going to be getting ready to come down pit road very, very soon. Most of these guys have not been saving for multiple laps. So they'll have about 22 laps on fuel, it looks like. So expect to see everybody come down pit road, at least a couple in the next 2 or 3 laps. Austin Allen going to drop down to the bottom and leave Jimmy Allen out by himself. So Austin able to get that little bit of run. It looks like maybe Nicholas Hacia was helping a little bit to slow that line down so they could get down to the bottom. See everybody single file. That is the telltale sign that we are getting ready to hit. You can see out front that car all by himself out in front of the pack. Lucas Lyons. Lucas does have some help here. That is the 91 of Casey Ryback. Casey Ryback 1 lap down. Lucas Lyons is on the tail end of the lead lap. So if they can work together, they can prevent and stop the bleeding. But I just think it's an inevitability that they're both in big trouble. No takers on pit road that time by, but you can see they're getting ready. They're working together, trying to find their teammates. They're you know, I can tell you what the communication sounds like. Communication sounds like this. Okay, all right, driver A, you're going to go left. I'm going to go right. Driver C, you're going to go left. Driver D, you go right. Try to separate yourselves. Make sure you don't go run into the back of each other going down pit road. There's so many things that can go wrong, especially when you're pitting around others. So lots of that communication going on as these guys are going to try to make it at least one more lap, but they should be able to make it to the end from here. So here we go, leader. Austin Allen going to bring down this whole group of cars. Ben Speed, David Farmer, Nicholas Hacia, Brandon Holder, Brian Terry, Justin Ray Lucas, or Brian Terry going to be the last one. Come down pit road to make their stop. That leaves Adam Lancaster with the lead with Tyler Johnson right behind him. Expect them to come down next time by. They can make it the rest of the way. But we're getting down to the end of this thing. Just 20 laps to go. And I think after this pit stop is when you really have to start thinking about it. You have to focus on this pit stop. Get down. Don't speed. We've seen speed penalties for Tyler Johnson. You do not want to speed here. That could be disastrous after such a great job getting caught back up. So you don't want to speed. You want to get down in your box, not slide through your box, get off of pit road quickly, and rejoin with the rest of them. Everybody coming down pit road. We'll see if anybody got caught speeding there. It looked like everybody got through pretty well. Saw a couple people slide through. Adam Lancaster first out of his stall. He will lead this group as they come out of pit road. And everybody able to most likely get caught up and be there. You see Adam coming off of pit road. Where are the leaders? That second group. Farmer leads that second group. Here he is coming around out of turn 2. He will make a run probably up towards Scott Fritz. So this everybody should blend in together. I don't see any stragglers. But Adam Lancaster at the moment probably in a bad position as he doesn't really have any help. And look at that run. He's really bogged down as he's by himself. He's hoping Scott Fritz can get to his back bumper, but watch this. David Farmer with a big head of steam is going to pass Adam Lancaster. He's going to lose a ton of spots there as that second group that pitted. Man, look at He said, excuse me, pardon me, I'm coming through. He's like the Kool-Aid man busting through the wall. He said, man, I'm coming through here through the middle. Thank you very much. So now pit stops have been done. Now, at the moment, you see those cars way at the back. That is Brian Terry, Nicholas Hacia. They are trying to work together to get caught back up. Then you got Ben Speed kind of by himself. No drafting help, but Lucas Lyon with his teammate Andy Kurtz. So they are kind of caught up. Now is the time that you have to focus on track position. You do not want to wait too long. You may not have an avenue to get to the front. Man, look, the 17 trying to sneak in there behind Tony Averson in front of David Farmer. If you are in the back, it's tough to make that call. When do you decide to go? Because if those lanes are blocked, you may not have anywhere to go. So you're gonna have to pick and choose. But if I'm Tyler Johnson, I gotta feel pretty good up here in that 6. Now I'm getting pushed really hard by the 24. 24 Tony Iverson is a 5 laps down. Everybody single file. When will somebody pull out? When will be the time to go and try to get this win? Currently, Adam Lancaster, Austin Allen tied for the biggest movers of the race at 16. But look here, single file all the way back to that 14th position. When do you see this in iRacing at a plate track? Everybody deciding to just ride in a line. We see that in real life. You just got to wonder if that zero fast repair and it being sort of a cutoff race doesn't kind of calm these drivers down a little bit where they make good decisions like this. Man, I don't know who that was. I think that was the 27 of Austin Allen. Got a little nervous, or it might have been Adam Lancaster. Get a little bit of that apron. That is scary stuff right there. 15 laps to go here at Daytona. Tyler Johnson currently leads. Obviously, the biggest story tonight is, I don't know what's going on back here. Oh, we got big movers here. I thought people were dropping out, going backwards, but looks like some drivers have decided it's go time. Dustin Ronstedel, 88 of Andy Kurtz, and Lucas Lyons moving on the top side. David Farmer says, hey, I would like to be a part of this. So now business picking up. This is that point I was talking about. If you weren't making it to the front, now where are you going to go? You're going to have to go through the middle. That could be disastrous. So, but that big run, Tyler Johnson, like he's sitting still there on that bottom line. Look at this massive push that this top line had. Just a ton of momentum, as we're not worried about fuel anymore. We feel like we're good to go. Now, we do have 3 green-white checkers, so these guys may be in the back here saving that fuel just in case. We saw that happen last night in the Truck Series. You had a couple guys who had enough for 1 green-white checker, but not 2, and they had to pit, and that put them behind the 8 ball. So if you have enough to make it to the end, that's fine, but you might want to make sure you have enough to make it at least to those 3 green-white checkers. David Farmer now with the lead, as now we see a couple drivers decide to go up there, try to make something happen on the top side. Single file back here, all the way back. Got the 38 of Justin Ray all by himself, trying to make something happen. Brandon Holder thinking about it, then jumps back down to the bottom, not quite ready just yet. Now Alex Penn back on track in that 30 machine after quite a bit of time on pit road getting repairs done, but the car looks like it's definitely racy here. He is 21 laps down, but he can still help somebody if they need it. I think Alex Penn may be on a team with Brandon Holder, Justin Ray, and David Farmer. So if he can help his teammates, even though your car may be junked and you're 21 laps down, you're still valuable. It's such a cool thing about plate tracks. Lucas Lyon now leading that top line. Now, the question here is, it's such a tough call. What are you going to do in this situation? Because you want to drop down. You see everybody always drop down off the top line once they get that push from the top side and get clear of the leader. They always drop back down. But you look at what David Farmer's doing. That's what I wonder. Who's willing to kind of block both lanes? Try to work both lanes. That really broke up the top, though. Not sure if Lucas was really expecting it, but if you can get your teammates out front and one of you lead the bottom line, one lead the top, that really can clog up the whole field, and you kind of control it. As it looks like that may be Jimmy Allen that they're about to lap again. So Jimmy stays high out of the way. David Farmer falling back as that top line came apart, but they're going to get rallied. Lucas either not able to or not willing to get to the back bumper of David Farmer, and that's really killing that top line. So it looks like Brandon Holder maybe can see that and decides he's going to go up to the top side. Just didn't have a run there as Lucas kind of closed the gap. Oh, somebody's in the wall. Ben Speed. Oh, my goodness, he's flipping on the front stretch. The 29 car is flipping end over end on the front stretch, and the caution comes out. Oh, my goodness. Somebody, I don't know who that was, almost got him. So caution is out. Less than 10 laps to go as you see Ben Speed just all toe up. as we'll go and see what happened here with Ben Speed on the replay, if we can, in just a second. Take a look at it on the replay. Some contact, and he's going to hit that inside wall. And oh, man, just a massive hit. And he's going to go end over end. Massive hit. Like the 27 of Austin Allen. They made some contact here. We'll watch it one more time. Try to see exactly what happened. The Ben Speed comes up the track as Austin Allen comes down. So almost like they were magnetized to each other. Austin Allen going to have a massive hit to the front of that 27 car. Just big hit. And you see right here, Ben Speed just going for a ride. Just end over end, Ryan Preece style. Well, alrighty. Well, now it's decision time. I don't think we'll see anybody come down pit road. I think track position is going to be too important. And looks like some people are going to come down pit road. So, might be thinking about some green-white checkers if you're David Farmer. As he comes down pit road, he's going to bring some drivers. Lucas Lyon, Scott Fritz, Brandon Holder, Adam Lancaster all coming down to get fuel. Maybe some tires. We'll see. As David Farmer having trouble getting on pit road. So definitely, I think insurance fuel, which I think is a smart move by those drivers. Because we have, here's the situation. We have, let's see. We have about 7 laps to go. We'll have about 5 to go once they take the green flag, most likely. That will get them to about, 17, 18 laps. But if they have 3 green-white checkers, they may not have enough fuel. Now, they can be shutting it off right now. We'll see. You can hear Dustin Ronstedel doing the smart thing, saving every bit of fuel under caution. They can make it about 22 laps under green. Now, under caution, you can see he's barely using any gas, cutting the motor off so that we're just not using any fuel right here. Then cuts it back on, pushes forward a little bit, cuts it back off. And what that does just makes he's got plenty of fuel under these caution laps. So doing a good job here. Feels like he can make it to the end, even through 3 green-white checkers. But doing the smart thing here, not taking any chances, saving as much as he possibly can, trying to get that win. I'm sure Andy Kurt's doing the exact same thing. All right, well, we're getting down to the end of this thing. It's been an exciting race, a lot of strategy. Lots of comers and goers, guys making mistakes and recovering from it. Tyler Johnson in that 3rd position. He is one of those drivers who's just been able to come back and make a good run as we get doubled up to go green. 5 laps to go when we take the green flag. Who is going to take home the win? I couldn't pick it. It's impossible. Last night, if you would have told me Jeremiah was going to win that race, I'd have called you a liar. And he comes across the line barely edging out David Sheets. So not a clue as anything can happen here, especially late stages of the race. Now, this is not as dire as a green-white checker. Green-white checkers are tough at these tracks because it takes about a lap to get everybody up to speed, and then it takes about another lap to really get momentum going forward. It's not like you can just get somebody's bumper and go immediately. It takes a while to get that rolling. So they have plenty of time here, 5 laps, to really get something moving So you don't have to go immediately. You don't have to win it on this first lap, but you better get hooked up with somebody and better be moving forward in the next couple laps. And we're going to see 3 wide be an option. You know, guys haven't run 3 wide all night long, so not really prepared for it maybe. Who knows? But you know it's coming. They're going to – 2 people are blocking 2 lanes. I got a big run with a push from behind them going to that 3rd lane. You better believe it. And, you know, so we could see that most likely, and that could cause issues. But it's time to go. It's now or never. We're down to the end of this thing. And there might be a playoff berth on the line for somebody who's outside that top 16. Pace car is off. Dustin Ronsetto going to have the lead. He's going to get a good jump, probably jump down in front of his teammate Andy Kurtz. We'll see if that happens. It's exactly what he does. So Andy going to try to get to that back bumper as soon as possible before the runs start to run them down. Tyler Johnson, Lucas Lyons going to get caught up here. That bottom is really, really tight. Top line. Looks like Brandon Holder. They're on that top line, but you can see everybody's coming. Big runs coming. You got somebody looking up 3 wide. I think that's Brandon Holder. They try to block that run. Yeah, the 13 trying to basically put him in the wall, saying, no, you're not going up there. Got to leave room for that 3rd line. It's coming. You might as well get used to it, or it's going to be an accident. The Brian Terry does not want that 3rd line to pop up, but it's too late. They are there. So Brian Terry now nervous. You can see him. He comes off of Tyler Johnson. He's leading on that top line. Tyler Johnson going to go up to the top line, and now Brian Terry is going to lead that middle lane. He's bobbing and weaving. Oh, my goodness. Is Tyler Johnson really struggling to hold on to that top line? 5 laps to go here at Daytona International Speedway. Dustin Ronstedt with the lead with a big push from Andy Kurtz and Lucas Lyon. That bottom line really moving, but here comes the 33. Oh, my goodness, they make contact. Brian Terry down to the bottom. Are they going to come up? Oh, it's a big wreck. Big wreck. Tyler Johnson involved there as they're going wrecking all over the place. The 17 of Adam Lancaster involved. Playoff bubble driver. You can see massive damage to that 17 machine as caution is out. And we saw it coming. I mean, there was no doubt about that. It was just a matter of time. It just looked like the 13 of Brian Terry was doing everything he can to try to prevent guys to get around him. And I think it all just was a powder keg waiting to happen. We'll go and look at it here as it got real wild here on the replay. On board with Brian Terry. You see the 33 trying to peek to the outside of Tyler Johnson. Tyler's going to squeeze him into the wall. The 33 going to try to come back down. He makes contact with the 13. So the 13 not really involved in that at all. And you see right in front of him, the 17 gets turned. And Brian Terry again with nowhere to go. Just unfortunate for him. Adam going to be sort of a innocent bystander. We'll go on board with him and see what he saw. Like he thought about maybe going to the middle, and it all happened behind him, and he just got hooked there. Just that's a tough deal. Go look at it from the 6. You're going to see the 33 at the last second going to pull out. Tyler Johnson's going to squeeze him into the wall. When that happens, that's what started it all. And I'm not really sure how him and Lancaster really made contact, but we'll watch it one more time. And you're going to see right here, the 33 says, I've got a big push. I'm tired of you blocking my line. I'm going to the outside. And Tyler Johnson was just committed to stopping that run. The 33 checks up to not get into the wall. And then the 6 comes back down and blocks again. It makes contact with the 13. And then I think the 17 just couldn't decide if he was going to go to the top, but makes maybe a little contact with Lucas Lyons, which pushes him up the track, and then the 17 comes up into the 6. So I've about analyzed that the best that I could. Hopefully that gave you all the angles that you needed to see to make your own conclusions. Now, I'm just a broadcaster, okay? Whenever I break down wrecks, I do the best that I can. I won't see everything. We'll try to look at so many camera angles, but I'm not here to blame anybody or assign fault. I can guarantee you that. That's not my job, and that's not what I'm here to do. So I just try to tell you what I see, but as far as fault, I have no idea whose fault that is. Just a racing incident here at the end of Daytona. I mean, that's going to happen. You can see, you know, I said Tyler's name a lot, but Tyler's just defending. You know, the 33 didn't want to work with him, and if Tyler doesn't defend, he's going to go to the back. He's going to end up by himself in the middle. He's going to go to the back, so he's doing the best that he can, but it's just a late move to put the 33 in the wall when the 33 comes back down across his bumper, like Tyler was trying to block that second move, and it gets himself out of shape. And Brian Terry, unfortunately, just nowhere to go. Brian, though, is still in the race. I mean, they had some damage there, but Brian's car doesn't look too bad. So 13's still in it. He's got to be. Going to make it in the playoffs. A lot that can happen here, but the first of 3 green-white checkers. I think everybody is going to be good on fuel. I don't think there's anybody that's in danger of not being able to make 3 green-white checkers at this point. If they're doubled up down the back straightaway, they'll get 3 attempts at it. We used 2 of them last night in the truck series. How many can we use tonight? Now, as always, green-white checkered. They'll take the green flag. They'll come around. They'll take the white flag. If there's a caution before the white flag, they'll rack them back up, and they'll do it again. If they take the white, all bets are off. We're going to race to the checkered flag for sure. I mean, there have been a lot of battles up front. I can't say that somebody has stuck out to me as the best or the most, you know, the best plate racer, somebody that has been better than most up front. I think we're just now seeing who's got the skill to get up there, as everybody's just kind of been hanging around all race long. So it's all going to come from the first couple of rows, I believe. Just like in real life, that big push on the restart is going to be a huge factor. And that bottom line going to have to get connected here. Green flag is out. Dustin going to try to get a good jump here, maybe try to get down in front of his teammate, but no, they don't allow him to do it. So the 2 going to be out there by himself with that green car, the 28 of Nicholas Hasia, to his back bumper. So far, so good through turn 1 and 2. Will we get the white flag as they go down the back straightaway? Teammates there on the bottom line. Not really any pressure from anywhere outside of this little group. Looking to take the white flag. Andy Kurtz currently has the lead, but we got a push coming from the top side. Can they get it done? They are trying to make that top side work. You see another group coming up. Where are they going to go? The 38, Justin Ray, not really sure where he wants to go. It's time to go to the outside if you're going to do it. There goes Scott Fritz to the outside. Here comes Nicholas Hasia, going to get connected with him. White flag is out. We're going to see a finish. Here's the 2. He's going to go up and try to block him. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if they're going to make it. Here comes the 84. The 2 gets out of shape. He saves it. Dustin Ronstedel hanging on to it as he gets a massive bump. He's going to push the 84 now as they go down into turn 3 and 4. Andy Kurtz has the push from Lucas Lyons, but here comes David Farmer with a push from Dustin Ronstedel. Who is going to make it? I don't think David Farmer has got the run that he needs, but they're coming off the corner. Here comes Lucas Lyon. He's going to go around his teammate. They're going to be almost 3. They're going to be 4 wide at the start-finish line. Who wins it? And Justin Ray is going to take home the win. Unbelievable finish. Justin Ray, 0.03 of a second, is going to win. Wow. Wow, what a finish. Fritz comes home in second. Bobby Anderson in the 11 going to come home in third. And we're going to watch that final lap. It's Justin Ray is going to win that race. Oh, my goodness, that was incredible. We'll watch right here as they come through 1 and 2. You see Justin Ray in the middle. That top side just, they don't know who. The 28 doesn't want to work with him. Then the Scott Fritz jumps down to the bottom. They're 3 wide at a moment. The 11 going to almost make contact there as they go down the back straightaway. You can hear some cars getting into the wall. We're going forward with Justin Ray as they're coming off the corner. Justin Ray has the big run, and when as soon as Lucas Lyon moves out to try to pass his teammate of the 88, the 84 is going to get a big bump into the 88, gets him out of shape into the 25. The 84 actually comes down into the passenger side door of Justin Ray, but he's got a big push from Scott Fritz. He goes up the track. He's wrecking at this moment. He's going to cross the line. Scott Fritz probably thought, please wreck. And look at that. Justin Ray crosses the line, and they're wrecking behind him. What a finish. What a finish. Go back and watch it one more time as we're waiting on everybody to sort of get in here so we can talk to them. Let's watch it this time at full speed. Gonna see the 88 come up and try to block the 84 once Lucas goes to the outside. Lucas pushes the 88 past David Farmer, and that's his cue to go up and make the pass for the win. Lucas not able to really get a run just yet. David Farmer just trying to find somewhere to go and just not able to get through that little gaggle of cars. Watch from Dustin Reinstedt's point of view here. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, if you're David Farmer, you don't really have anything else you can do there. He's got to go for that move. He's going to try to win the race. I mean, they're blocking right there. The whole track will go back. Watch on board with him. Lucas going to come up in front of him, so David's going to go down to the middle, and he's going to try to shoot this gap right here, and that gap just closes up. Just nowhere to go, and they crash across the start-finish line. But incredible job by Justin Ray to take home the win. Man, what a great race there. Well, all right. Well, let's get into the post-race show. I can't wait to talk to these drivers. Very interesting race for sure, as they definitely raced their guts out, especially towards the end of this thing. And Bobby Anderson, tell you what, that third place, that's impressive. He just came out of nowhere as well and came in at the last second to take that third place. So waiting on everybody to come in. We'll talk to them in just a moment. All righty, well, let's get third place Bobby Anderson into the booth, and let's talk to him real quick, see what he thought about that race. Bobby Anderson, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, what a great race for you there at the end, just making all the right moves, dodging all the mess, and you come home right where you started in third place. Didn't really know what your strategy was in the race, but tell me about it. I want to know, man. You started third, and you were kind of quiet all night long, and there at the end just had that opportunity. Talk a little bit about your race as you were trying to navigate 85 laps at Daytona.
Yeah, we decided to try qualifying and see how the car would run uh, with the setup and everything, and it did pretty good. We were running up front just to see it, testing the waters more or less. I usually like riding in the back because I know there's usually a lot of chaos, and that way it weeds out all the wrecks and everything. And toward the end, we'll usually wind up back up front, and it started getting a little crazy at the beginning, so I just backed off and got in the back and started saving a little bit of fuel and waiting for the cautions to fly. And a few of them did, and then toward the end, we were in position to go 3 wide there with the 01. Got blocked up top and went back down low because they started getting checked up there, people getting loose, and then just back and forth because everybody was getting loose everywhere. I just let off to let them back by me just to be able to see what's going on. That's one of the key things when you're in these expanded cars. You can't see when you're tucked up behind somebody. Just backed off a little bit, and then chaos ensued, and we backed into third place there. Almost got beat by Farmer there by a rear end of his car, but we took it home third place, which was awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, at Daytona, you know that's how it's going to go, especially on the last lap coming to the checker flag. It's pedal to the floor and say a little prayer to the good Lord and just close your eyes and let it rip. And that's kind of what happened here tonight, man. You were able to come out the other side with that third place finish. So congratulations, man. What a great finish out of you. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Yeah, I want to thank 213 Simware. You can go there, 213simware.com. Thank my wife, my kids. They watch me every day. The guys over at JVR, my other leagues, other stuff I run, the guys over there. I practice with them all the time, doing some super speedway stuff. I do Bobby things and super speedways and miss a lot of wrecks, so it's a lot of practice that helped me out here tonight. And thank you guys for putting on the broadcast and everything.
All right. Well, there you have it. Third place finisher, Bobby Anderson, with a great finish there at the end. I mean, he was at the back of that pack on the last lap and came out with a third place finish. And then we have our second place finisher, Scott Fritz, in second place. Scott, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, a wild race. I mean, you started up near towards the top half of the field. You kind of got up there and was racy at some point and just kind of hung around. And there at the end, you had everything you needed to try to get that win. Just came up a little bit short there as the melee was happening. But I got to say, man, a second place at a plate track with the way things can go and how the bad luck can happen, it's got to be a good feeling as you're headed into the playoffs.
Yeah, it ended up being a pretty good night. I put tires on there at that last caution. We ended up getting caught a little bit of a wreck and fixed it, but car wasn't hurt at all, and we were able to come back up through there. And I've won more super speedway races than anyone else in Bluegrass, and we tried to add another one tonight, but came up just a little bit short. But it was still a good night.
Well, I mean, coming down to that green, white, checkered, what was your mindset? If you're the best, tell me how you kind of felt going through that. That green, white, checker. What your plan was, and do you feel like it worked out? I mean, it's hard to plan for anything at Daytona, but what line were you trying to use? Who were you trying to work with there at the end? And what did you have to adjust there on the last lap on the fly to get that second place finish?
Yeah, well, me and Adam were working really good together all night, and Adam ended up getting taken out in that wreck there at the end, right before the caution, and so I restarted 10th there, and it was basically I was trying to jump the outside, and I wasn't lifting for anyone, and I got to 3 wide there going into 1 on the last lap, and I think it was Ben that blocked me a little bit, had to cut back low, and cut low, and I just stayed on Justin's bumper and hoped something would open up and just pushed them all the way to the finish, and they wrecked coming there to try of when we had a shot at it there, but Justin got the win, so congrats to him. He earned it, and we'll move on to next week.
Well, man, congratulations. A great run out of you. Second place at Daytona, man. That's awesome. So congratulations. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Obviously, I'm Team CFM Esports, USA Speed Shop, Sweet Victory Apparel, Busy Corner Buggy, 6-1 Media, and then obviously Bluegrass and Jason, and thinking of him. obviously, and then Cody for adminning, and then as always, you in the booth.
All right. Well, there you have it. Second place finisher, Scott Fritz. So close to that win, but that is going to be for Justin Ray, who tonight took home the top spot. There on the last lap, just like last night. Justin Ray leads 1 lap, and damn it, if it ain't the most important. Congratulations, Justin. How you feeling, brother?
It. Man, I feel good. I do. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it. I don't think you ever do coming that close to the line, and all of a sudden it's in your lap. But no, we finished. Jokingly, I made a Dale paint scheme last year for this race and finished second. And then tonight I win it, so we might be bringing it back next year. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed on the back of the car, but there's a. So
We did.
That's the
We
Dale
definitely
car.
did. Well, actually, on the broadcast, while you're talking about, we'll completely jack it up because I got I got everything turned up too high. But we'll take a look at it real quick. As you got the Dale suit on inside the car, and then you got the Dale looking through the.
It's kind of it's perfect. Whoever's behind me, all they kind of see is his eyeballs.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Works out pretty good. But no, I honestly I wasn't expecting it. I hated it for Alex. He got in that trouble earlier, and Farmer and Brandon, man, they've been running great all night, and all of a sudden come across the line. I wasn't sure if it was me or Fritz. Once I realized I got tagged, I steered into it and kept it pinned. So it worked out.
Well, tell me about your race going all the way back. What was your plan coming into the race? I mean, honestly, be honest with you, it's easy to kind of after the fact, especially when you win the race, to go, oh yeah, I had the plan to do exactly this. And I know that Daytona, you really can't plan for some things, but what was your idea? What was your thought coming into the race? How did you want to attack this race, before the stage, after the stage? What kind of, at least a rough draft, if you might say, did you have coming into this race?
Well, I'd actually talked to all them about it. I'm sitting out, I think at the time, 6th or 7th in points. So not that I didn't want stage points, but I know there's some guys sitting on the bubble. So I kind of wanted to play it safe to be there at the end. So I did kind of ride around for a little while, and in that last pit stop, I told the guys I'm going, and then I can't remember what happened before. If it was that, I think it was a caution with the 6, or everybody got wiped out. Um, After there, it put me on the bottom, and then I told David, I said, man, if a hole opens up somewhere, I'm shooting for it. I'm going. But it just worked out. I can't explain it. I mean, you know how Daytona goes. You can have a plan, and every time I come here with a plan to do something, it never, ever works out. So to be able to win the race tonight, it's first win for me in the bluegrass now in the 2 seasons. So it feels good. If I finally got the breakthrough, so it's a good momentum on into the playoffs. Hopefully, me and the other guys can have a good rest of the season here. I know it's looking pretty good right now, so I'm excited about it.
Well, I mean, on that last lap, you just did, you did exactly what you had to do, was just keep your foot in it. And like I told Scott Fritz, you basically just keep your foot all the way down the floor. You say a prayer to the good Lord to close your eyes and just see where you end up. And man, so close, you and Scott Fritz, as you kind of went up the track after that contact, and it just right at the line, you had plenty of space though to get that win. So
that's what I was looking at there on the replay. Who tagged me, and on the going down the back, I was trying to get up behind David, and I said, man, if I come up right now, we're all going for a ride. I can't, so I just kind of stuck where I was, and I was going to move up a little bit, try to get a draft, and then I kind of saw where Scott had stayed low, so I said I'm gonna stay put where I'm at, and I hugged the yellow, and then I saw him start spinning, so I ducked down a little further, and it was enough. So,
well, you love to see it. Daytona, that's a great place to get a win. So, congratulations, Justin Ray, man. Just awesome. But tell me, man, who you got to thank? Who helps you get around the track? Sponsors, shout outs, friends, family.
Yeah. First off, I want to thank the old fiance. I know she's in there asleep. I'm about to go in there and wake her up ecstatically. Aerial Pros of WNC, Function Junction Smoke Shop, GG's of Waynesville, Mountain View Detailing, Waynesville Tire. Obviously, shout out to Cornerstone, Alex, David, James, all those guys, Brandon tonight, Finley. I'm not sure why he wasn't able, but Finley missed you tonight, and I mean just all season we've worked I think really good together. So can't appreciate those guys enough for what they've done and helped me grow throughout the year. So thanks to everybody, and let's get it done in the postseason.
There you have it. Congratulations again, Justin Ray, on that victory tonight, and good luck to you in the playoffs.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well. There we have it. Man, what a great finish. Daytona, Talladega finishes are always the best, and Justin Ray comes away with the victory. Let's take a look at the results as we start to wind down this race. 5 cautions, so not as carefree as maybe last night was, but still not a messy race. Very tactical, a lot of stuff going on. People trying to position themselves in certain spots, and just an all around good Daytona race. Bluegrass puts on some good plate racing. Let me tell you that right now. But we know the top 3, David Farmer, even with that wreck at the end, was able to come across in the 4th position. Nicholas Hacia in the 5th position. Andy Kurtz, who was leading there, coming off of turn 4, comes home in 6th. Lucas Lyon in 7th. Dustin Reinstedel in 8th position. Jason Ayerson, who we didn't really talk about much tonight, which I'm surprised, comes home in 9th. Michael Kostick rounds out your top 10. In 11th, Daniel Cunningham. Brian Terry in that 12th position. Brandon Holder in 13th. Tyler Johnson in 14th. Casey Ryback in 15th. Tony Iverson in 16th. Adam Lancaster, disappointing 17th position after that next to last wreck. But that stage win could be all that he needs to get into the playoffs. We'll see once the official playoffs points are released. But just disappointed to come home 17th, I'm sure. 18th, Austin Allen. 19th, Jimmy Allen. Ben Speed rounds out your top 20. 21st was Alex Penn. Jim Ott in the 4 car comes home in 22nd. Sean Kostritza and Travis Twitty all got disconnected early on in the race and never returned, and they will finish 23rd. But another good one here in Bluegrass. This will be my last one here in the Xfinity Series. We'll be kicking up a new series that I was already committed to starting next week. So definitely appreciate Jason Collins and everybody in the Xfinity Series for allowing me to broadcast their series here in Bluegrass. It's been a lot of fun. Gonna miss seeing how the Xfinity playoffs are gonna play out, but I'm sure the next broadcast will come in and just kick a lot of ass, and that'll be fun to watch. I'll definitely have to jump in here and see on Bluegrass TV what goes on. So but we'll still be broadcasting the trucks on VSRN and Bluegrass TV. So we'll be here Monday night, which I'm really enjoying the truck series. It's a lot of fun. So come out and check us out. If you're on VSRN, if you're watching over there, definitely come over here to Bluegrass TV and hit subscribe. If you're on Bluegrass TV, do me a favor, go on over to V-Speed Racing Network and subscribe over there as well. Let's work together, and let's bring in the crowds on both sides. So if you haven't subscribed to VSRN, please do. We'd love to have you, and maybe some other broadcasts that might tickle your fancy. But all right, well, that's it. I don't got nothing else. Man, just a great race. Congratulations again to Justin Ray. Some disappointed drivers for sure, but the fans, me, not disappointed at all. Justin Ray definitely not disappointed. He's going to take home that win and set himself up really good for the playoffs. Well, y'all have a great night. It's been a lot of fun here in the Xfinity Series. We will see y'all Monday night to wherever we're going for the first round of the playoffs in the Truck Series. Looking forward to that. But we will see y'all then. Y'all have a great night.